Right, here we go. Space Tether. Find my pen. I'm going to put space lift because it's not really a tether, although it's a tether as well. It's not just a tether, it's a lift. So that's now a lot of diagrams here. So I'm going to take the lens off this so that you can focus in on the board. Now I'm basically going to do what I saw, what they showed me. Now, if you can imagine, in order to manufacture this, the ones manufactured by planets basically have got lots of like sheds in a circle. Well, look like buildings. They were buildings. Stuff to make the carbon fibre tethers go in this end. I'm assuming it's carbon fibre. I know it was a very, very light, very, very strong, big fibres. Now, obviously I had nothing in the picture to relate to size, but I'm saying sort of that big, that round. So this manufactures it in one length, carbon fibre. And they come, say this is the ground looking downwards, they come out and then come up in a straight line. So you've got, I'll try and do it here. So anyway, they're all manufacturing the cables. That comes out here. So, got that bit? So they're coming out of the buildings here and here. This is now ground level. Going like that. So you might have 6 or 8 or whatever, however strong you want it, depending on your planet and how rough it is up there. I personally think that it wouldn't work on the Earth because it is rough up there. So that's that. So you've got lots of cables all going upwards. Whatever you want in the middle of that is you can put in a device which crawls its way up the middle of the 6. I've seen lots of different ones, so I don't know. Now around that, these are attached to circular balloons. So now that donut shaped balloon around the middle is designed to take the weight of that much of the carbon fibre, and you've got helium in there or hydrogen, whatever you want it to like balloons basically, like a hot air balloon, or not hot air balloons, gas airships. Now they are shaped, so you've got all your cables coming out like this, say 6, the balloon's on the outside, and that's attached to each one of those. Now, from what I could tell, they were all moving about and looked oily. So the cables looked oily and the balloons looked oily too. Some of them actually had like a rail round that they could run on and rotate, and they were to a point. Now apparently, if the wind's coming this way, they'll turn out of the wind because of this point, and they'll be aerodynamic in the wind. Okay? So that I thought was a good idea too. Can you see that? I'll just go behind the camera to make sure the lights aren't in the way. No, they're okay. So yeah, so that's that. So just to recap, so each section of the space tether is held up by a balloon which will take the weight of that bit of the thing. So we've got basically balloon shaped like that. There's the middle. There's a rail for that to run on, so it can change in any direction. And then the cables are in there. And then you can do whatever you want in the middle for the lift. You can have pipes for fuel, electricity, all sorts of things. The other things these some of them do, and I did ask the question, if they're moving, you could generate electricity. And that's exactly what it did. Some of these rings, with that balloon going round and round like this, almost like the wave generators we've got, generated electricity too. So basically what you've got is lots of the middle section and lots of balloons. And that goes right up. Each balloon takes the weight of the whatever's in the middle, and that's it. Now, I did say Jack and the Beanstalk story. There might be an element of truth in that, because if you imagine if you plant the bean, this won't work in our high gravitational field, I'm sure. So I don't think it's actually happened on. I think it was a story from either dropped by other ships or told by aliens that managed to contact us. I don't know. But if you can imagine, they plant the seed. Don't know what the story was behind that. I think they bought these magic beans, didn't they, or something. So there goes your growth. Now, okay, it might have leaves, but I'm suggesting that it's got bladders full of hydrogen or helium, manufactured into the genetically manufactured beans. These are, especially for the job. Now they say then they saw it and it was good for climbing, so they climbed up it. Jack and the Beanstalk story. When they got to the top, they saw what they thought was a castle with giants. Well, that was actually a spaceship with spacemen in it who were big. So yeah, there's another story for you. Space Tether, probably not on this planet. I think the gravitational field is too high and the winds are too high. It would have been on somewhere with little gravity. So, but there's a little story for you which I asked about, and I said, "Oh, that looks like a beanstalk," I said. And I told the story to the probe, and it basically said it's very possible. It can be done. But for us, the carbon fibre continuous cables, big thick cables have to be. Because you imagine 100 miles of that all moving about. Small ones are going to break somewhere. You could have clusters of smaller cables, and then oil that, and they can all be moving about. But I did seem to think, under the impression, that the one that I saw, everything was oiled, not only for rain or water, but for possibly against other rubbish that's in the atmosphere. I don't know in those planets. But basically, that's pretty much it. And then in the middle of that, you can send up whatever it's attached to, your Life Star or whatever. Send up food, drink, building materials, anything that will fit in that. And remember, you can send up long building materials like girders and other stuff like that. As long as you've got it all up there to build your and you could build it wider, I suppose, too, and bigger, as long as the balloons are and the balloons, you can burst them and detach them and just move them all up one, so the balloons can be fitted from the bottom and all moved up. I'm guessing now, that they didn't tell me that, I'm guessing. But yeah, there's so basic rules are continuous cables, manufactured on the ground, a bit like the old telephone cables they used to have when they did the Atlantic cables. They built them continuously on a ship, so there was no joins. So it'll be like that basically. You'll have your building, your raw materials are going one end, the cable will come out the other, join up with all the other cables and be united with the balloons to take the weight. So yeah, that's it. Space lift. I don't think there's anything related to the space lift that I can say really. That's probably about it. So thank you very much. Thank you.